Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jemmy and Nye, and today we're exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML.
Right. CDML is a managed service provider out in Queens, New York.
And they offer, well, quite a list of services: network management, voice over IP, unified communications as a service, cybersecurity, compliance,
Infrastructure as a service, cloud solutions, and of course, Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions.
So if you're a small business owner or you manage IT for a growing organization, this one is definitely for you.
That is quite the list of services, but honestly, it just shows how complex running a modern business has gotten. It's great to be here.
It really is. I was reading through this article by Len Kaplan, and I was nodding along and then sort of grimacing a little bit.
Oh yeah, why's that?
Because he describes this scenario that is, I think it's almost universal. It's that really early stage of a business.
Right, when you're just trying to keep the lights on.
Exactly. You're
Yeah.
bootstrapping, you're hustling, and the last thing on your mind is enterprise architecture.
You're thinking about your next sale, not your IT stack.
For sure. And so you do what's easy. You grab a free Gmail account, you start saving contracts in a personal Dropbox, maybe Google Drive.
You're texting your co-founder on WhatsApp because, well, why not? Everyone has it.
It
Right.
feels frictionless. It's free, no budget approval needed, and you don't have to call an IT guy to set it up. It just works.
It works until it doesn't. And that is, I think, the core idea of Len Kaplan's post.
A patchwork approach.
He calls it the patchwork approach. And look, we aren't here to shame anyone. It's a completely natural way to start out. But Len points out that as you grow, this patchwork of free tools, it quietly turns from a survival tactic into a huge liability.
Okay, before we dig into that liability, just a quick reminder, new blog posts from CDML drop every Tuesday and Thursday, so it really pays to stay tuned if you want to keep your business tech running smooth.
Definitely.
So let's talk about this liability, because free still sounds pretty good to me, especially when cash flow is tight. Where does it actually start to go wrong?
Well, let's look at the title of today's deep dive. Centralizing Business Tech. Why Microsoft 365 beats free or cut rate alternatives. The whole problem with that patchwork approach is that it creates these hidden costs.
Hidden costs.
Len calls it the illusion of savings.
The illusion of savings. That sounds ominous.
It is, because think about it. You save a few bucks up front because you're not paying for a license, but where does the cost show up?
In your time.
It shows up in friction. It shows up in the where is that file game.
Oh, I hate that game. I lose it every time.
We all do. Is the contract in your email, is it in the Dropbox? Or did you save it to your desktop? Len says this is a major productivity killer.
I believe it.
Files get scattered across platforms. You waste time searching for the latest version because 3 people have saved 3 different copies in 3 different places.
And that's just the efficiency part. The security side has to be even worse.
Oh, significantly worse. And this is a red flag Len waves pretty hard in the article. When you're using free tools, you almost always have employees using personal accounts for business data.
Which seems fine, until you really think about it for 2 seconds.
Right. If your entire sales database is sitting in an employee's personal Google Drive, you have 0 control. None.
Wow.
You don't have an audit trail. You have no idea who they've shared it with. You don't know if they're using a strong password or 2-factor authentication. You are basically outsourcing your company's security to your employees' personal habits.
That is a terrifying thought.
Yeah.
So what starts as being flexible turns into what Len calls chaos.
Exactly. And the tricky part is you usually don't even realize you're in the middle of chaos until something breaks.
Like a security incident?
Or a hard drive crash, or this is a big one, someone quits.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You mentioned someone quitting. I want to dig into that nightmare scenario in a second because I think every business owner has that fear. But first, let's talk about the solution. Len talks about centralization. Now, be honest. When I hear centralization, I kind of recoil. It sounds like bureaucracy. It sounds like being locked down. Is that what this is?
That is such a common fear. But Len clarifies this really well. He says centralization isn't about control in like a negative way. It's about clarity.
Clarity.
It's not about stopping you from working. It's about making sure all the work lives in one single ecosystem.
So what does that ecosystem look like, really? We're talking about Microsoft 365 here.
We are. So in the M365 environment, your email, your files, your calendar, your contacts, they all live together. They're not on separate little islands. They all speak the same language.
Okay.
But the most critical piece, and if you take one thing away from this deep dive, let it be this, is the concept of identity.
Identity. Okay, unpack that. How is that different from me logging into my free Gmail? I have a username and password there too.
It is an identity, but it's a personal identity. And this gets to a really important idea: data sovereignty.
Data sovereignty.
In the free tool world, your identity is, name@gmail.com. That belongs to you, the person. The data inside it belongs to you.
Got it.
In the Microsoft 365 world, your identity is name@companyname.com. That identity is a managed business asset. It's owned by the company, not the person. And this is all powered by something called Entra ID.
Entra ID. So that used to be Azure AD.
That's the one. Think of Entra ID as the bouncer for your whole business. It doesn't just check your ID at the door. It checks the context. It asks, is this person logging in from a computer we know? Are they in a weird location? Is their password weak? It's a whole security check before it lets you in.
So the company owns the digital me.
In a professional sense, yes. And here's why that is so important. Let's go back to that someone quitting scenario. We call it offboarding.
Right. Okay, so paint the picture. In the free tool world, I have a disgruntled employee. Let's call him Bob. Bob decides to leave today. He has company files on his personal Dropbox. He's talking to clients on his personal WhatsApp. How do I stop Bob?
Yeah. You can't. Not easily. You have to ask him nicely to delete everything.
You'd have to hope.
You have to hope he doesn't take your client list with him. It is a manual, error-prone mess. You're just crossing your finger.
That sounds incredibly stressful and like a potential lawsuit.
Now, let's look at the Microsoft 365 way. Because Bob's identity is managed by the business through Entra ID, when Bob leaves, you flip one switch. That's it.
One switch. And what happens then?
Instantly, his email stops working. His access to Teams is cut. His access to every single file on OneDrive is revoked. Even if he's logged in on his phone, that session gets killed immediately.
I still hate that.
The keys to the building don't just stop working. The locks themselves change automatically and remotely. It secures the data no matter where the device is.
Wow. Okay, when you put it like that, the free option sounds incredibly expensive in terms of risk.
It really is. And, if you're enjoying these practical tips on how to actually secure your business without pulling your hair out, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us know we're on the right track.
Definitely do that. Okay, so we have security. We have this one key concept. But Len also talks about something that personally drives me crazy: tool sprawl.
Tool sprawl, the modern workplace pandemic.
It is. It's having 5, 6, 7 tabs open. I've got Slack for chat, Trello for tasks, Gmail for email, Dropbox for files, Zoom for meetings.
And you can't remember your password for any of them.
Exactly. But I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Each of those tools is really good at what it does, right? Zoom is great. Trello is simple. Why is sprawl a bad thing if the tools themselves are good?
That is a great question. And the problem isn't the quality of the individual tools. It's the bridges between them, or, well, the lack of bridges. Free platforms, they often solve one problem really well, but they do not talk to each other, so you become the bridge.
I feel seen.
Yeah.
I am the bridge, and the bridge is tired.
The bridge needs a break. You're constantly copy-pasting links, downloading a file from your email just to re-upload it to Slack. Len explains that M365 is designed as a connected system. It's not just a bundle of apps, it's a workflow.
Okay, so walk me through that. How does it actually connect things?
So you've got Outlook for communication, OneDrive or SharePoint for storage, but then you have Teams. And Teams is where the magic really happens. It isn't just a chat app. It is a window into that entire ecosystem.
So Teams is the hub.
Precisely. In Teams, you can chat, you can hold a video meeting, and this is the game changer. You can open and edit a Word doc inside the meeting window with your colleagues in real time.
So no more screen sharing and alt-tabbing.
No more, hang on, let me find the link, it's just there. Then you add in Planner for tasks or lists for data, and because they all share that same identity we talked about, you don't log in 5 times. The data just flows.
That integration is key. I think people really underestimate how much mental energy is wasted just switching between apps all day.
It's a huge amount. And security scales here, too. With free tools, security is an add-on. You buy a spam filter here, a plugin there. In M365, spam protection, data loss prevention, audit logs. It's all built into the foundation.
Okay. This all makes sense in theory, but I need a concrete example. Len's article has a great one about managing product returns. Can we walk through that?
Let's do it, because returns is a headache no matter what. So the old way, the patchwork way. Let's say you sell custom furniture. A customer wants to return a chair. They probably email info@company.com.
Or they send you a DM on Instagram.
Right. Or they call the office and someone jots down, chair broken, wants refund, on a Post-it note.
And that post It gets lost under a coffee mug. I know this story.
We all do. There's no standard format. You have to email back and forth. What was the order number? Can you send a picture? And more importantly, there's no data. You don't know if this is a bigger problem.
Okay, that's the reactive mess. I'm feeling the anxiety just hearing it. So how does the new way with M365 change that?
Len maps this out perfectly. Step 1. You use a Microsoft form. It's a simple link you send the customer. They fill out the order number, the reason for the return, maybe upload a photo of the damage right from their phone.
Okay, so standardized input, no missing details.
Correct. Step 2. That form data automatically feeds into a shared list or a dashboard. Nobody has to copy-paste anything. It's just there, instantly visible to the warehouse team, the finance team, everyone.
Nice. One source of truth.
Step 3, and this is where it gets really powerful. You use Copilot and Microsoft's AI to analyze that data. Copilot can summarize trends. It might spit out a report that says, hey, 40% of returns this month are for the blue velvet chair, and the reason is broken hinge.
Whoa. So I'm not just processing refunds anymore. I'm getting actual product intelligence.
Exactly. And step 4 is teams. You have a channel for quality control. That Copilot report gets posted there automatically. The team discusses it, tags the supplier, and fixes the root problem, all without a single forwarded email.
That is a massive shift. You've gone from reacting to angry emails to gaining real insight.
That's the power of centralization. It turns your data into an asset.
I love that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here it comes again. I can hear a listener right now saying, that sounds great for a big company, but I'm a team of 4. We sell cupcakes. Isn't this just overkill?
The too small myth, so common. I'm just a flower shop. But Len Kaplan has a really strong counter to this. He says small organizations actually benefit most from doing it right early.
Why is that? You'd think the big guys have more to lose.
They do, but small businesses have less margin for error. And think about the cost of fixing it later. If you build your business on personal Gmail accounts and then you suddenly hire 15 people, trying to migrate all of that scattered, unorganized personal data into a professional system is a total nightmare.
Yeah, trying to untangle 5 years of Jemmy's personal drive sounds expensive.
Expensive, it's disruptive, you risk losing data. It's like building your whole house and then deciding you want to install plumbing.
Perfect analogy. It is so much easier to put the structure in when the house is small.
Exactly. And it simplifies onboarding. When you hire that 5th person, you're not giving them a list of passwords. You just create one M365 user, and boom, they have the right access to everything they need.
So it's an investment in your future speed. You're not letting technical debt pile up.
Yes. Fixing all those accumulated shortcuts later is always more expensive than the monthly license fee was from day one.
That makes a ton of sense. But I also know M365 is, well, it's a beast. I've opened the admin center and just thought, I have no idea where to even start.
Buying the license doesn't feel like enough.
And you'd be right. Len makes that point very clearly. The value comes from proper setup. If you just buy it and don't configure it, you're driving a Ferrari in first gear.
Or with the doors open and no seatbelt.
Dangerous. And this is where a partner like CDML comes in. They're not just selling you a license. Their whole role is about the design and configuration.
So what does that actually look like?
Well, first, they design the environment to match how your business actually works. They'll look at your workflows, like that returns process, and set up the tools to support it. So it's tailored to you.
Then they handle the migration. They take that messy data from your free tools and move it cleanly and safely. That's a huge hurdle for a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't want to be the one who loses the tax returns.
And finally, security and training. Configuring security so it actually protects you without slowing people down, and then training your team so the platform feels helpful, not overwhelming.
That training piece is huge. If your team doesn't know how to use the tools, they'll just go back to texting on WhatsApp anyway.
Exactly. The goal isn't just to move you to Microsoft. It's to turn that technology into a reliable foundation you can actually build on.
I think confidence is the key word there. The difference between hoping your free tools work and knowing your professional system has your back.
It really is.
So let's wrap this up. We've gone from the patchwork of free tools to the one key security of M365 and Entra ID. We talked about the nightmare of offboarding and the dream of automated workflows.
I think the main argument is this. Free tools are fine for personal use, but for a business, they create these invisible costs in time, in security risk, in lost data that just grow over time. Centralization brings structure, security, and clarity.
And here's a provocative thought for you to chew on. Take a minute today to just audit your own digital tools. How many different logins did you use? Are you juggling free platforms and personal accounts to get your work done? And if you are, is free actually costing you more than you think?
That is the question. Is the price you're paying in time and anxiety worth the $0 on the invoice?
If you're sitting there thinking, oh, that sounds a little too familiar, don't panic.
Yeah.
There's help. We highly recommend you visit cdml.com and subscribe to the blog for more insights like this.
And if you're ready to really evaluate your environment to see how precarious that patchwork quilt is, there's a contact link right there on the site to get help from Len and his team.
It's time to stop juggling and start building. Thank you so much for listening to the It Factor today, host speaker and expert speaker. Till next time.